Welcome back to Prime 10, where we explore fascinating topics and dive into the world of uncanny predictions. Today, we have a real treat for all you Simpsons fans out there. We'll be counting down the top 10 Simpsons predictions that surprisingly came true. Get ready for a mind-blowing journey through the iconic animated series. Let's get started. Number 10. Emergency in an underwater submersible. Fans of the show drew parallels between a scene in the episode and the June 2023 tragedy of the OceanGate submersible named Titan, which sank with 5 passengers on board during a dive to see the wreck of Titanic. Homer goes on an undersea adventure with a man. The two try to find the treasure of a sunken ship in individual submersibles. During the exploration, Homer's submersible gets stuck in corals, and he loses consciousness as his oxygen supply depletes. However, he awakens 3 days later in a hospital. The passengers of Titan were not as lucky. The U.S. Coast Guard, which launched a rescue mission soon after the submersible lost contact with the surface, announced on the 22nd of June that a catastrophic implosion in Titan had killed all 5 passengers on the 18th of June, the day of its dive. Number 9. Donald Trump as the U.S. President. One of the most famous The Simpsons future predictions was about Donald Trump occupying the highest office in the world's oldest democracy. In the episode, Bart gets a peek into his own future and the people around him. He sees that his sister, Lisa, has become the US president. During a meeting, Lisa says, "We inherited quite the budget crunch from President Trump." This was a reference to Donald Trump, who would become the US president in real life in 2016. Number 8. Disney acquires 20th Century Fox. Homer agrees to work for Alec Baldwin. He makes a phone call to 20th Century Fox executives to suggest an idea. A scene then shows that the company is owned by Walt Disney with the words, "a division of Walt Disney Co." beneath the 20th Century Fox logo. Indeed, in March 2019, Disney completed its acquisition of 20th Century Fox for $71.3 billion United States dollars. Disney renamed 20th Century Fox as 20th Century Studios and one of its TV studios as 20th Television. Number 7. Smartwatches with voice identification. Smartwatches are ubiquitous today. It was certainly not even in most people's imaginations around 30 years ago when The Simpsons made a future prediction around it. It shows Hugh trying to propose to Lisa using a smartwatch, into which he speaks. The first smartwatch with a voice command feature was introduced in 2013. It was launched by Irvine, California-based company Martian Watches. They popularized it as the world's first voice command watch. Its users could connect it to their Apple iPhones or Google Android devices via Bluetooth. Number 6. The censorship of Michelangelo's David statue. The episode was certainly hilarious, and many would have perhaps thought it is highly unlikely for such an incident to occur in real life. Because who doesn't like Michelangelo's work? Like several other The Simpsons predictions, it came true around 33 years later at several places. In July 2016, residents of the Russian city of St. Petersburg voted on whether a copy of the iconic statue on display in their city should be covered up or removed altogether. In March 2023 at a Florida school where parents opposed the display of the statue in an art class as offensive, it led to the resignation of the principal. Number 5. Putting horse meat in the food. In Samson Lunchlady, Doris of Springfield Elementary is seen serving horse meat to school kids for lunch from a drum labeled, "assorted horse parts." In real life, however, a major scandal broke out in the UK in 2013 when it was found that beef products contained horse meat. Horse meat scandal. It began when the Food Safety Authority of Ireland began testing cheap frozen beef burgers from supermarkets in November 2012. Their findings revealed that horse DNA was present in more than a third of the samples while pig was present in 85%. Number 4. Space travel for the common people. National Aeronautics and Space Administration (NASA) decides to send an average Joe to space to boost its ratings. They select Homer, and he becomes the first ordinary human to go to space. Today, the idea of anyone in the world jetting off to space has become more commonplace and achievable. The first space tourist was American aerospace engineer and financial analyst Dennis Tito, who paid Russia $20 million United States dollars to fly aboard a Soyuz spacecraft to the International Space Station, ISS, in 2001 at the age of 60. Number 3. Premiere of Matrix 4. In Simpsons, a poster reading, "A Matrix Christmas, Coming Soon," can be seen behind Homer outside a theater. Interestingly, the fourth film of the Matrix franchise, The Matrix Resurrection, was released on the 22nd of December 2021, in time for Christmas. Of course, Reeves wasn't wearing a Christmas hat during the promotions or in the film, but the coincidence was not lost on fans of The Simpsons. Number 2. The COVID-19 pandemic. No person in the world has not been directly or indirectly affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. It is one of history's most defining periods, where billions went under lockdown and millions lost their lives to a virus whose origin remains unclear. The Simpsons were far ahead in their predictions when they aired this episode where a foreign origin flu spreads like wildfire among residents of Springfield. During the episode, it is seen that a shipment of products from Japan causes what is termed in the show as the Osaka flu. Doctors tell the residents to get bed rest as there is no immediate treatment available. Years later, many fans saw how similar the flu depicted in the episode was to the COVID-19 virus. Number 1. FIFA corruption scandal and Germany winning the World Cup. The FIFA World Cup corruption was a major scandal that continues to be a dark spot in the history of the beautiful game. It happened in 2015, just a year after this episode of The Simpsons aired. FIFA employees were indicted and several arrested on accusations of fraud, money laundering by the end of the year. At the heart of the scandal was the awarding of the hosting rights for the 2018 World Cup to Russia and the 2022 World Cup to Qatar. The Simpsons episode shows Homer being brought as a referee in a FIFA World Cup tournament because corruption in the organization had led to a shortage of officials. Homer decides to be fair and, therefore, Germany wins the cup.